Body camera footage shows the moment Aurora police officer Michael Deek saw a 37-year-old Kylin Lewis May 23rd. The split-second decision forced a family into grief.
Officer Deek, your reckless decision stole the very essence of our family.
Lewis was a son, brother, father to two, and husband of 8 years to Andres Lewis.
They took Kylin from me. And everyone who loved him. For no reason.
Lewis's family and their attorneys responded to the edited video from Aurora Police in a press conference.
The Aurora Police Department is failing.
Ed Hopkins says he's tired of black men at the hands of police.
Not a man. Hands up. Phone in his hand. The phone got him in Aurora.
Police say Lewis was under surveillance as a suspect of an attempted homicide near 48th Avenue and Colorado Boulevard in Denver, May 5th. The body camera video shows 3 officers approached Lewis, including Michael Deek. While going down to kneel, Lewis's hand goes behind his back and he pulls out a cell phone. Deek fires 1 shot. Lewis cries out.
A desperate plea engraved in my heart forever. A haunting reminder of the fear that grips our black community in Aurora.
The video ends after that. The family says justice for them includes prosecuting Officer Deek and using Kylin's memory to promote what they described as a safer and more unbiased Aurora.
We, as the people, demand proof and not empty promises. That black people's lives truly matter in Aurora and all over this world.
We've reached out to APD for the unedited body camera footage. They shared longer clips, but we're still looking for more raw video. The Lewis family attorneys say they have also not received all the footage and have requested for more as well. They say Aurora police are hiding, quote, the worst parts of the interaction, and the family deserves an accurate understanding of why Kylin. In the newsroom, Janelle Finch, 9 News.
All right. Peace and blessings, all praises to the Most High. And you heard the news reporter say at the end that the family has only been shown clips. But I'm going to show you the actual raw footage from 3 body cam footages of the officers who took the life of 37-year-old Kylin Lewis. This happened last year in May. And once again, if someone hadn't sent me this information, I would have never known. You remember when these incidents would garner national coverage, be on your newsreel day in and day out? Now, it's become such a common occurrence that no one cares. Now, this situation, as you'll hear later, and this lady is so cold, this police captain or chief, when she's justifying this act, it's just so cold in describing how these officers took that man's life while his hands was up holding a cell phone. He was supposedly, allegedly a suspect in shooting a 63-year-old man who was just walking around, which sounds kind of fabricated to me. Nevertheless, they saw him at this apartment complex and they ran up on him. Guns drawn, 3 officers. Big guns, you're going to see. And they tell him to get on the ground, He reaches in his pocket and pulls out his cell phone, holds it up like this. He's not pointing anything. And then he's immediately executed by 1 shot from this officer. And as you heard the family say, his wife of 8 years, leaving behind 2 children and a mother who loves him. They want to know if Black lives really matter, or is that just a slogan? Because we have seen several videos of white people charging at police with axes, taking their tasers, charging at them with knives, and they somehow seem to walk away. The officer doesn't feel that it is necessary to take their lives. And so I'm going to show you this video, and I want you to pay close attention to what happened, but also how this person continuously justifies or tries to justify why this officer did what they did.
On Thursday, May the 23rd, 2024, the Aurora Police Department SWAT team was assisting the Denver Police Department Fugitive Unit with surveillance of a suspect wanted on an active warrant out of Denver for attempted first degree. The arrest warrant stemmed from May 5th, 2024, when the suspect was involved near East 48th Avenue and Colorado Boulevard in Denver. The suspect was identified as 37-year-old Denver resident Kylin Lewis. According to the warrant, Lewis, a 63-year-old man, multiple times who was walking in the area. Thankfully, the victim survived. Fugitive teams from Denver and Aurora later learned that Lewis visited an apartment complex in the 300 block of South Ironton Street in Aurora. The teams conducted surveillance on Lewis over the course of 2 days, and the Aurora Police Department SWAT team was requested to assist with the arrest due to the high-risk nature of the warrant. Lewis arrived at the apartment complex just before noon. Officers watched him park a red Chevy Monte Carlo and open the trunk. He was at the rear of the vehicle when SWAT officers approached and gave him commands to get on the ground. At that time, his hands were visible and empty. As you will see, Lewis took several steps and placed his right hand behind his back, out of view. When his hand came back into view, he was holding an object, and one of our officers fired a single shot. You are about to watch body camera footage from 3 officers, beginning with the involved officer, Michael Deek. Officer Deek is a 12-year veteran of the department and has been assigned to the SWAT team for more than 8 years.
On the ground! On the ground! Get on the ground! On the ground! On the ground! I'm telling you, dude! On the ground!
In this clip from Officer Deek's body camera, which we have now slowed down, you can see Lewis is near the trunk of the car when officers arrive. Again, you can see his hands are visible and empty. Lewis does not obey commands to get on the ground and instead moves toward the driver's side door. He places his left hand into his pants pocket and his right hand behind his back, out of view. Here is a second perspective from another officer.
He's looking, he's looking, he's looking.
Hands! Hands!
Here you can see Lewis's right hand behind his back, out of view. Again, we have slowed down the video. When his right hand comes back into view, he is holding an object and Officer Deek fires a single. Here is a third perspective from another officer. I would like to direct your attention to the left portion of the screen, near the driver's side mirror, where Lewis comes into view. Again, on the left side of the screen, you can see Lewis bring his right hand back out in front of him, this time holding an object. Officer Deek fires a single. The object was later determined to be a cell phone. Following the SWAT team officers provided aid to Lewis until medical responders arrived at the scene. Lewis was taken to a nearby hospital, where he lay on Saturday, May the 25th, 2024. Any loss of life is a tragedy for an individual's family, our community, and the officers involved, no matter the circumstances. We understand you may have other questions. I want you to know that we are committed to a complete and thorough investigation. We will share any additional findings once the following investigations are complete. The independent investigation led by the 18th Judicial District Critical Incident Response Team to determine whether the officer's actions complied with state law, and the administrative investigation led by the Aurora Police Department's Internal Investigations Bureau to determine compliance with agency policies and training. Officer Deek remains on paid administrative leave. To the men and women of the Aurora Police Department, I want you to know that I'm proud of each of you for showing up every day to serve our community. I recognize that you often have to make critical decisions with limited information and that you are willing to risk so much of yourselves to keep our community safe. Together we face many challenges, and we will always hold ourselves to high standards because it's what our community expects and deserves. Critical incidents like these are difficult to watch. They involve real people with family and friends who love them. I know that nothing I can say can ease the pain this family is feeling. What I can do is ensure that a complete and thorough investigation is conducted and share those findings with our community. We are committed to transparency, and we will always seek ways to improve how we serve the people of Aurora. Thank you.
Blah, 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 blah. Is anybody else tired of this same repetitive narrative that they give us every time. It's going to be an independent investigation, and we are ensuring transparency, and, you know, nothing I can say can bring, you know, him back, but, you know, we will ensure a thorough and complete investigation. And, you know what? Yeah, thanks to all the police officers who serve us every day. You know, they have to make those critical decisions. And thank you for risking everything for us. You see the narrative that they tried to paint. Oh, well, the police are really in danger. They're the one who's risking everything. But how many times do you see people execute the police like police are executing these individuals? The lady clearly slowed the video down, and if they are trained, anyone can see that that was a cell phone. As the lady said, he put his hand first in his left pocket, and then he reached in his back pocket. Now, anybody who has been looking for their phone, no, okay, you reach in your front pocket, it's not there. You reach in your back pocket, you reach in all the pockets to see where your phone is. Now, if he sees people coming upon him, pulling out of guns, or, you know, he may or may not have been on the run. He may or may not been the person who did that. But of course, you're going to reach for your phone because that's a safety measure. You're going to call somebody you on the phone so you can let somebody know what's going on. And you can actually see in the back of the trunk, or what he got out of the trunk was a walker. It looked like one of those rolling walker things. So maybe he was, you know, handicapped or anything, but they're mighty vague about this so-called shooting that he supposedly involved in. You know, there's not a lot of information about that, but they clearly label him the suspect. He was a suspect, not a father, not a brother, not a son, not a husband, but a suspect. And we've all seen how that diminishes the value of the life of the person. But even though he raised his hands up, like, even if that was a gun, he did not point the gun at the officers, right? And why didn't all the other officers shoot if they felt danger? Why was it just him? And why did they come with those military style weapons? Oh, yeah, that's right, because of the high risk nature of the warrant. They've been surveilling him for 2 days. They couldn't have picked a better time or a better way to apprehend him, if indeed he was the individual. But how many times do we have to see this, though? Like the mother said, how many times, like the attorney said, I am tired of seeing or hearing about black men dying at the hands of the police. Once again, this happened last year. No fanfare, no marches, no outrage. There may have been this. Now, this is in Aurora, Colorado. So, another investigation. Family's probably going to get a civil suit. Of course, the officer is on paid administrative leave, pending investigation. And this independent investigation, best believe it's not independent. Somebody with connections to law enforcement. So yet another clear-cut case. Like I said, I've shown videos of black men just getting slaughtered by the police, disrespected by the police, and then on the flip side, white men are charging at police with axes. And they are being taken alive. And so I know we get tired of seeing these things, but we got to continue to expose it because, you know, we have to let the people know that these police are out of control. They've been out of control for a long time. This was May 2024. So this was before Trump. So just keep that in mind. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. 919-587-7782. Peace and blessings.